Hello YouTubies, this is Mark. Now I want to talk about how the alternative media can actually empower people and some of the negative aspects of how the alternative media is being portrayed, and also how people are trying to smear campaign the alternative media. There are some good points about it, and there are some bad things about the alternative media too that I need to mention. And there's a good reason why I'm showing this device here that is part of my washing machine that I've taken out, and there's also a good reason why you can see a clip of somebody fixing a washing machine from a YouTube video, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's just talk about how the alternative media is being portrayed and what the alternative media actually is and what it should be. For a start, there's people out there who are claiming that the alternative media is full of people who believe that the earth is flat, and that everything on YouTube is the alternative media basically. I make a video about how rabbits are taking over the earth or something, and somehow that makes me part of the alternative media. It makes me nothing of the such. And the people who tend to say stuff like this are projecting their own problems onto other people. For instance, I know one individual who talks about some interesting things and then completely goes off the rails. We're talking about jinns and furries. The guy is away with the furries, and yet he has many critical things to say about other people. He really does dig into other people and claims them to all to be shills, smear campaigns the alternative media, sends his own people to troll flat earth groups who are full of shit, by the way. There's nothing real about flat earth, it's pointless. But he sends them there to troll them, and the reason why he does this is because he understands that they will burn their own energy off trolling these groups, and when they come back to him, he will give them a good pat on the back and say, well, don't worry about it, you're here now, I understand what you're thinking. He's literally running a cult, and this is all mind control. This is all to lead these people astray. It's pointless following people who are talking about furries and jinns all the time. That's not the alternative media. In fact, that's somebody taking a fucking piss, basically. Because while they may talk about one or two interesting subjects, like psychopaths, the rest of the stuff they're talking about is completely nonsense. And when you're looking at these people, what you're basically doing is you're saying that, well, these people actually run cults, by the way. You're saying that I agree with everything you say just because you said something good about another subject. So people tend to have this cult mindset where they just agree with what anybody says about anything if they like one thing they've said in the past about one single topic. And we do have to get out of that situation. Yes, the alternative media is people who make videos online, but you have to do some investigation to be a part of that. You cannot simply make a fucking Facebook meme of a flat earth picture with a group of politicians laughing and claim that you're part of the alternative media. Would I be part of the media if I made a picture of the same thing talking about Britney Spears? Would I be part of the mainstream media if I did that? No, that would be crazy, but these people believe they are. So how it's being portrayed and what the alternative media actually is are two separate things. Now, there are good things about the alternative media. It can empower you, it can give you good advice on diets, on how to actually improve your health and fitness. And if you look at the alternative media and how to improve your health, etc., it can really give you some good holistic advice, and I like it for that. But of course it's being infiltrated by nonsense, and I think certain people are trying to damage the alternative media by giving it a bad name, by literally flooding it with things like pouring coffee up your backside if you're pals or something. It's ridiculous. So we've got to be careful of these individuals. We've got to pick and choose what is useful and what isn't. For instance, people who talk about how when there was a big terrorist attack in France recently and call that a psyop, somebody goes over in a truck and drives innocent people over and kills them, and this is all psyop and it never happened, are completely stupid. Yes, there could have been part of it that's been made up, but that doesn't mean there's no victims. It's very easy for me to write a story about that, claiming, listen to this, that the guy who did it was a Christian, or the guy who did it was an atheist. The devil is in the details. The psyop could be in the details. It could be a lie that he's Muslim, for instance. I don't know. I can't prove it either way, and therefore I'm not claiming to be an expert. That's not really what I call an investigation. But I understand that the media does lie, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a Muslim problem. Okay? Now, here's where the alternative media does pay good attention to helping other people. Don't forget about being trapped on a screen, on a monitor, to your favourite celebrity in the alternative media. Because when you do that, you're hypnotised by the screen and you fail to notice what's happening around you in your own life. You need to get out there and enjoy your own life. Meet real people. Do real stuff. Enrich your life with real things. You know what I mean? Not something that's virtual reality based. Otherwise you're going to be brainwashed and continually being led down a garden alley of nonsense. There's nothing really in the alternative media as such when you're being controlled by the screen, because you're not actually living a real life. It's all fake. People can say anything on the media and you will automatically believe it, whether it's on the TV or on the monitor screen or from your computer. So we've got to be careful of this. But this is where it really gets interesting. Now, I've heard that people who need to empower themselves need to learn how to do woodwork again, art, writing, enrich their lives with new skills, and that is part of the alternative media. That's where it really gets good. How to improve your health and fitness is good. How to look at a disease you have, ignore what the doctors are saying, and find something that actually works for you, that's good. Yeah. And this is also interesting what I'm showing you here. Something went in my washing machine recently, and this is the door latch of a washing machine, and basically what it does is it sends a signal to the washing machine saying, listen, the door's closed, you can start. But for whatever reason this thing was broken, so the washing machine was failing to shut properly and failing to start. Now, I don't know anything about that originally. I knew it could have been a problem with it, and most of the time when I was younger, before having those good advice, I would have thought, well, maybe it's time to either get it fixed or buy a new washing machine. You see where I'm coming from? To buy a new one would cost me over £100. Yeah, and that's good for some people, but it's not necessarily a good thing for me. All I did was I went online and I watched a 5-minute video and thought, hey, I could do that myself. Took the top lid off the washing machine off, unplugged it first, of course, undone a few screws, pulled out the connection, plugged in a new one of these, and turn the thing back on, and voila, the washing machine works again. Cost me £8 to fix it for the new part. That is empowering, because I didn't have to phone a plumber, I didn't have to phone somebody who fixes washing machines, which would have cost me £80 to do in total. It cost me £8 to fix it. And many a times I fixed it without spending any money whatsoever. So I didn't exactly fix it the way the video showed that you were watching. I fixed it in another way, by taking the top of the lid off and opening the door and then undoing the screws and taking it out. But whatever. In the past I would never have thought of doing that myself, but nowadays I do. I fixed the power supply of my computer, replaced the graphics card, made my own computer well, I mean, I put the bits together, which cost hundreds upon hundreds of pounds cheaper. And this is all because, good advice I heard in the alternative media. So it can be empowering. In fact, the internet can be empowering if you know how to use it. But if you get brainwashed by cults, by people within it who are trying to lead you astray, who are trying to hypnotize you through a screen, that's a problem. That's where things become problematic. You need to enrich your life with learning how to do new things. Learn a new skill. Do some art. Do some writing. Hell, learn how to do some gardening. Get a garden. And maybe go for walks. Find another thing to do except for being on the internet. I don't like being on the internet too much. But when I do come on, I do try to make use of my time there. Although I do talk a load of nonsense. But I think this is appropriate about the alternative media. Although, things I'm saying might be wasted words. But think about it. I saved 70 quid from watching a 5-minute video. Thanks to something that someone said from the alternative media of investigating whether you can do something yourself. Whether you can fix something in your house, whether you can put a chair together, whether you can, replace the fuse in your electric box or something, or whether you can fix a chair or your washing machine and stuff. That's enriching yourself. Or whether you can put a shed together yourself. That's something I'm trying to do now. This is enriching your life. This is empowering you rather than leading you down this bloody nonsense of we're all fucking doomed and that's it. We need to empower ourselves first, because until we're empowered, we're not going to get out of this system. We're just going to be locked up into a virtual reality box or something on the TV, which people still haven't understood. You're still not out of the hypnosis. You're still being hypnotized by a screen. Anyway, thank you for watching. I just thought this was interesting because of this, by the way, because before I was involved in listening to alternative media stuff, and I do pick and choose what I find to be appropriate or useful in my life. I thought this was one of the most important things I've learned, how to improve my health, and also how to spot bullshit, and how to fix things and how to put things together. Art, creativity, crafts, DIY, and going outside and learning how to ski or something. All this is useful, okay? Or picking up women, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye for now. See you later.